Hi team, I'm so excited to get my learning done with you today. So I picked this really special story and it's called The Invisible String. And I chose this story because I've been feeling a little gloomy and even a little lonely while I've been teaching from home and you've been learning from home. And so when I read this story, it told me that my feelings were okay and it also gave me a strategy to work through them. So I wanted to share it with you today. And so we know that good readers are always sitting up so straight and tall. Put your hands in your lap, in your lap. Now our job today, I can make text to self and text to text connections. And so we're going to make connections to ourself so we can better understand the story. We're also going to make connections to another text. And that means we're going to see if there's another text or another book that we've read that reminds us of the invisible string. So show it with me. Ready? Connection to self. Yeah. And connection to text. Give yourselves a hula hula. Hula hula, hula hula. So, sitting up so straight and tall, the title is called The Invisible String. And I know I can put my hand on the front cover and let it send messages up my arm to my brain to tell me what the story is going to be about. So if I'm looking at the front cover, ooh, I see 3 characters and their face looks peaceful or serene. They're in a meadow. It must be springtime outside and there's a string that's connecting them with a heart. And so now I know a little bit more about the story. Now, Patrice Karst is the author. The author does what, class? Writes the words. And the author works with the illustrator Joanne Liu to draw the pictures. And so the title is so important that they write it, twice. The Invisible String. This picture must be important because it's on the title page. So sitting up so straight and tall, take a look, read the pictures before I read the words. Lisa and Jeremy, the twins, were asleep one calm and quiet night. Suddenly, it began to rain very hard. Thunder rumbled until it got so loud it woke them up. "Mommy, Mommy!" they cried out as they ran for her. I'm looking at their face. They look scared or worried, and I'm making a connection to myself. I felt scared or worried before too, and I really wanted to be around someone who could comfort me too. Don't worry, you two. It's just the storm making all that noise. Go back to bed. We want to stay close to you, said Jeremy. We're scared. Mom said, you know we're always together, no matter what. But how can we be together when you're out here and we're in bed, said Lisa. Mom held something right in front of them and said, this is how. Rubbing their sleepy eyes, the twins came closer to see what Mom was holding. I was about your age when my mom first told me about the invisible string. Ooh, this page must be important because that's the title of the story. I think we're going to keep seeing the invisible string throughout the story. So let's do a syllable chin drop so we don't forget the word invisible. Ready? Invisible. Clap it out. Invisible. 4 syllables. Another word for invisible could be transparent. Yeah, say that word with me. Transparent. It means you can't see it or it's see-through. I don't see a string, said Jeremy. You don't need to see the invisible string. People who love each other are always connected by a very special string made of love. But if you can't see it, how do you know it's there? Asked Lisa. Even though you can't see it with your eyes, you can feel it with your heart and know that you are always connected to everyone you love. Ooh, before I read this story, I didn't know that. When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the street until it feels a tug on my heart. And when you tug it right back, we feel it in our hearts, said Jeremy. Look, these two characters are at school and she's in the park. And they're talking about the string being connecting to their hearts. Does Jasper the cat have an invisible string? Lisa asked. She sure does. And best friends like me and Lucy? Asked Lisa. Best friends too. How far can the string reach? Anywhere and everywhere, Mom said. Well, now I'm making a connection to myself. This reminds me of a time this past week when I was feeling confused about the virus, and I was also just feeling gloomy or a little bit heartbroken because I just really missed my students. And maybe you missed your teacher. But then I read this and it said anywhere and everywhere. So I'm using this book to connect to myself because I have an invisible string with people I love that keeps me connected even when we can't go outside of our house. Would it reach me even if I was a submarine captain deep in the ocean? Asked Jeremy. Yes, Mom said, even there. Or a mountain climber? Even there. Or a dancer in France? That's the Eiffel Tower. Even there. A jungle explorer? Even there. Look, they're in the safari. She's saying the string can stretch all the way over there. How about an astronaut out in space? Yes, even there. Then Jeremy quietly asked, can my string reach all the way to Uncle Brian up in heaven? Yes, even there. So I want to pause and I want you to make a connection. Show me connection to yourself. And I want you to think of all the strings you have that connect your heart to people around you that you love. Maybe you don't get to see them every day, but you still have your invisible string. And once you make that connection to self, this will help you better understand the book and the characters. Does the string go away when you're mad at us? Ooh, that's a good question. Never, said Mom. Love is stronger than anger, and as long as love is in your heart, the string will always be there. Even when you get older and can't agree about things like what movie to see or what game to play in the back seat or what time to go to bed. Oh, that's right. You two should be in bed. And with that, they all laughed as Mom chased the twins back to bed. Within a few minutes, they were asleep, even though the storm was still making the same loud noises outside. As they slept, they started dreaming of all the invisible strings they have, and all the strings their friends have, and their friends have, and their friends have, until everyone in the world was connected by invisible strings. And from deep inside, they now could clearly see. Wow. No one is ever alone. The end. Now, I remember that my job was to connect to myself. Oh yeah, I did, because I talked about that. This reminded me of a time that I felt lonely or even gloomy, but I know that I have my invisible string connecting me to people that I don't get to see right now. And my other job, let me think. Oh yeah, my other job was to see if I could connect this story to another text. If you can make text-to-text connections, it helps you better understand your stories. And if you read with me earlier this week, we could make a connection between happy right now and the invisible string. Happy Right Now gave me strategies to work through my feelings while I'm at home during this time. Oh yeah, she told me belly breathing. And she taught us how we could be content even when things aren't always going perfectly our way. And then the invisible string gave me a great strategy to help with my feelings at home, because now I know that I can stay connected to everyone I love, including my students. Thanks for reading with me today, and I hope you can continue to make connections to self and connections to text. See you soon.